Good morning. I'll just hang that up for now.
Hello.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Weird.
Like really live.
It's been a couple weeks.
It's not just a recording.
No.
We're actually here.
It's been a crazy couple weeks.
It has.
Yes. Every time I looked at my phone and I was like, oh wait, I'm live. I was like,
why am I getting dinged here,
yeah,
right?
It was pretty funny. So I was standing in line and Dave's like, yeah, I just got a notification that you're live. And the lady looked at me and she's like, should I know who you are?
No,
the line.
Probably not.
I was like, no, probably not. Not unless you like sewing. And she's like, I like sewing. I was like, well, then maybe you should know who I am. And we all got a big laugh.
Thank you. We're very excited. There's a lot of things going on around here.
Yes.
So it's been a whirlwind month. It's been absolutely crazy. And
the cat's out of the bag.
Cat is now out of the bag.
Yes. So Lisa's the new boss.
Yeah. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be just fine. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yes. But
because it works. So why would we change what works, right?
Gene's not coming back.
He's not. He's not going to stay in Florida the whole time, but
no.
He
is that coming back here?
Won't be coming back in here. So
Yep. So stop in.
He's got
next
mixed
couple
feelings,
days.
You know, he's
yeah, and say goodbye.
Yeah. He's excited, but he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So
Yep. It's a good time for him.
It is. You know, he's got a couple grandbabies he can
spend more time with. And Cheryl's retired, so good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, they're going to have a good time.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure we'll hear about different exploits. I mean, it's not like we're never going to see him again.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you guys updated if we hear anything new.
Yeah, we should make him come and teach a class.
Yeah.
That would be hysterical.
That would be great.
Then you could tell him what to do.
That would be even better. So we could totally have him do like that maintenance class.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, what do you think? I'll pay you to coach. That'd be great.
That would be funny.
That would be a lot of fun. So, but we're going to have some fun this morning.
Yeah.
We have a very cute design
We do.
with some new product that hasn't been an option before.
No.
So, which is why we decided to go that route this year. So,
and I really dropped the ball on this one. Like you did all the work. All I did was say gnomes.
No, I mean, you did the pictures and
I put the pictures in, yeah. But you created the whole design, and it's adorable.
It came out pretty good.
It did.
It got revamped a couple times because I was like, yeah, that didn't work. So,
yes.
But I'm excited, and you know, this is something that you can do for, you know, towels or pillows, or you could put it on something. You know, it doesn't have to be just this project. Right. So you could take the embroidery part out. You could actually put whatever you want as your background for your snow globe, or, you know, put a different embroidery back there, and then just,
or completely skip the print moda aspect, and with the design, put just a fun print.
A fun print of, you know, you could take we talked about doing that actually, and I never got there. Just finding a fabric that had
like a novelty fabric.
Novelty fabric that had a scene in it, cut the circle. And have that be your background, but you could also put other embroidery designs back there and stitch that first.
Yes.
You know, you could place it on your screen so that it's where you want it to be, and have that penguin or snowman or whatever inside the snow globe too.
Yes.
So you can definitely make this into whatever you want it to be. So I think it's a fun pattern because of all of the possibilities.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I just realized I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, all right. So
maybe I should grab them because I might need them anyway.
This is from Betsy, and she is so happy for you, Lisa. Your passion for stitching and cutting creativity is so evident. This is a perfect venture, business venture for you.
I'm very excited. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I can see that now.
So, in case you didn't read the email this morning and you're wondering what we're rambling about, Jean is retiring, and Lisa has purchased the business from Jean. So we will continue to still be LeBoux Sewing Center.
Yep.
Name's not changing. No. And
phone number's not changing. Location's not changing. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
He just not going to come back.
The guy just isn't going to be here.
After his semi-retire winter, he's going to permanently
retire. Yes. So, but today we've kind of done this every year, right? We do some sort of a
We've been doing holiday
celebration, and we mix more than one technique
in there.
Yeah, technique type. So this has a little bit of embroidery, a little bit of scan and cut, and then we also included the print moda stuff. So that's what we were talking about.
So I have gotten to play with the print moda a lot.
Yes.
While you were gone.
Yes.
We were requested to put in a few projects to Brother to be posted on with their print moda stuff. So we made a couple different things, which we'll talk about because we're going to talk about the print moda and how you can use it and how it was used here.
Yep.
And but yeah, so I've gotten to play with it a lot, and I definitely think I'm going to be buying one and taking it home. So it's opened a lot of doors. My brain just started going, you know. So thank you, Shirley. But it's been thank you, Sharon. So it's been a lot of fun playing with it and actually, you know, getting my feet a little bit wet. And you know, we were originally told you couldn't print to the fabric outside of Art Spira.
Yes.
Well, I did that. Didn't do it on purpose, but I did that. So now I know that you can actually do your regular computer and send. So, you know, if you had an image or something somewhere else, you could send that. I'm not sure how the selecting of the size and all of that works, but we'll explore that some more too. So it was a lot of fun. I got to know the machine a little bit better and played with Art Spira a little bit more and created my artwork and things outside and then brought it in rather than trying to mix and match. But you can actually bring in more than one photo to print at a time.
Oh, like a collage or something.
So when I did the recipe towel and the little puppy, I did that on the same thing. So I brought the one in and messed with it and got it where I wanted it on the page. And then I brought in another one
that's
and
good.
used up the blank
side
space
of
so that it wasn't just a waste of fabric. So thank you, Dee. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I feel a lot more confident with that machine now because I definitely got some playtime on it.
Yes.
So
the advantage of that is like the detail that went into like the gnome picture for our snow globe. You just can't do that. You can't. To stitch that would take hours, and even to
so
cut
many
it in the layers.
Yeah, you know, because I started with I'm going to do cut files for this, and so that holy crap. I mean, you know, drawing the hat and drawing the palm and drawing the beard and the nose and the, you know, all of those things where I was able to take a lot of different images and create my own image out of, I mean, things that didn't actually go together got mushed together and now they go together. So, so many options, you know, it'll just start kickstarting all of the different, I could do this and I could do that. And, you know, all of that heavy embroidery that we do sometimes.
It's hard.
You know, everything can't take that many stitches and, you know, punches of the needle. So it really opens a lot of doors in what you can do. So should we get started?
We should.
We should.
Okay.
So, but wait, before we do you want to talk about your trip?
Yeah, I went to Disney. I was gone and Universal Studios. So I was gone for 2 weeks. We had wonderful, wonderful weather. It was like high 60s.
That's perfect.
Low 70s. So I didn't even have to wear a hat. Like I curled my hair and the curl stayed all day. I was like, wow, I look like a human.
I didn't curl mine. I blew mine out.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
But no curl over here. But
yeah, it was really nice. The crowds were really low. I said
that's nice.
Yeah,
it wasn't crazy busy.
It was not. It was way less busy than it was when we were there in September.
So do you think that's because it wasn't the week of Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
When we were Wednesday, Thursday. Were like the last 2 park days that we were there. You could definitely see a difference.
An increase in the number of bodies. When we went, we basically got there like at Christmas, and then we were there between Christmas and New Year, and it was insane.
Yes.
So
that is,
and I was like, I'm not going there ever again at this time
of year. Yeah, Dave and I did the same thing. We were there. We've been there the day after Christmas. We've been there Christmas Eve. Through New Year's, we've gone New Year's Day. So it's always been substantially busy. And I was mentally prepared for that crowd level.
Right.
And
pleasantly surprised that you didn't have it. Yeah, that's fantastic.
We did not have any of that.
It can be such a fun place to celebrate anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Epcot
mean,
was the craziest day for us. They did a candlelight processional, and Brendan Fraser was the speaker.
what you sent me that picture.
And I never in my, I mean, I like Brendan Fraser, right? Like I've known who he was forever,
Right.
The Mummy, Encino Man, all of those things. I never in my wildest dreams imagined that the crowd that he would have pulled for the show. The people started lining up if they didn't have a ticket into the little thing at noon for shows that were 5, 7, and 8.
Wow.
And so the back of the crowd basically just made the lands area around like Canada and
Yep.
it just made in America and all those things. It just made it so much crazier because there were just hordes of people waiting
everywhere.
in line. Yeah. So that was the craziest event that we had to deal with.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
All right. So let's get started. So we're
I can
gonna
do that.
start
You can put it back.
by well, once I switch the camera, then it won't be that
It
noticeable
won't
that
be
it's
so
right
bad.
in
It's
my
right
face.
in your face.
Yeah.
It's your forehead.
It's my forehead. It's part of my glasses.
So, there's not actually a ton of stitch time. Hi, Lisa, and thank you. Merry Christmas. There's not tons of stitch
No,
parts
but we
on
do
this,
have some prep work, right?
But we do have some prep work that we're going to talk about. So, I've got piles of stuff over here. So here,
the design is free.
Yes.
And you can get that on our website. It was there was a link on the email that we sent out. There's also a link in the description of this video to get the design, and the design does have a PDF. There's a PDF in there
with the
instructions.
The
instructions. So everything that we're talking to you about
Yep.
today is actually written down for you.
You know,
and
the templates to make it
yes.
a circle if you want to. All of that is included
Yes.
in the free design. But if you would like to make that the way that we are, you will need our cute little print moda print, which
Yes.
comes in there.
Yes.
And this is the only way you can get it is to buy the kit.
Yes.
So, but the kit has everything that you need to make the circle
Yes.
finished pillow.
Including, we pre-cut the vinyl pieces.
We did.
For the words and the snowflakes, just in case
you don't have a
you
scan
don't have
and
a scan and
cut,
cut.
and you still want to do this.
Yes.
So if you want to make an extra one, you'll have the files and you can cut them. But if you don't have a scan and cut, you can still do this entire thing because we pre-cut the kit pieces.
Yes.
They actually are, all you have to do is weed off the excess.
And we'll show you how to do that.
We'll show you how to do that. So in here we have some glitter grunge for our base, and then we have red fabric that you'll use for the ruffle in the backing of your pillow. If you choose to, you could of course substitute that in. And then we have the miscellaneous other parts. So we'll be digging in that bag here quite a bit. So here is basically what we're going to be working on. And we need to mark this guy to look like this guy, so we know where to put the snow globe itself, because it is not in the center of the fabric. It's going to be a little bit down so that everything else goes around it. So you can see my crosshair down here is not the center. So that's definitely going to be a I don't want that to throw anybody off. I guess it's important that you not put it right in the middle.
Right, but you also do need to mark your center, because
you will need to mark your center to do the circle.
Right, so you're going to mark your center, and then you're also going to mark a line below the center so that you know where to put all of your stuff. And we're going to show you how to do that right now.
This is the finished one. You can see you can kind of work that around into exactly where you want it. There is not a has to go place there.
Right.
Just gonna move that.
Do you need the marker and the ruler from back here?
Oh yeah, that would probably help if I want to mark anything, huh? What a great idea. So this is a 14 by 14 square, which was very clearly stated in your instructions to cut a 14 by 14. I did fuse Easy D to the back so that the embroidery will lay down nice and smoothly and give that a little bit more support. So the first thing that I'm going to do is mark 7 inches in. So I could, get really 7 inches, because we're going to be able to use that same crosshair line to mark our circle later. So if you're slightly right or left,
it won't
be a big deal.
You got a little extra wiggle.
So I'm literally just going to go from one side. Try not to bump it with my gut. and draw that line. Now I'm using a friction pen, which means it will completely go away when I heat that, so I don't have to worry about leftovers, if you will. And then I'm going to come up 5 inches from the bottom of my fabric.
This is going to be the crosshair line, the part that you line it up with your crosshair on the embroidery part.
Okay.
Not the actual center.
Yep. All right. And then the third line, which I didn't draw in blue before, I did that one in orange, which is why you couldn't see it there. This is going to be for where I'm going to put the template to draw. So I do need to know where that's at. You can do that later if you don't want to do that now, but since we only have so much space here, we're gonna mark it all in one shot and then get rid of some stuff here. All right, so we have a crosshair here. This is what I want to put into.
We didn't prep a hoop yet.
Oh. We can't stitch yet, can we?
No, we cannot. I'll go get that.
There's sticky tearaway in the drawer.
Okay.
The tearaway drawer. I don't know what happened to my 7x12 hoop either, but it's, I'm sure, floating here somewhere.
Okay.
So while she's doing that, this is going to basically place our print. We're going to place the base of the snow globe, which is this guy here. And then you do have a bag of glitter in the kit as well. And an odd little guy in there, you have a dryer sheet. So this is super important from a perspective of static cling. So when you're working with glitter, you want to make sure that your glitter is going to, I'm sure there's one in the drawer here.
Yeah, I also have to get, there's not enough of this.
Oh, that's fun. I think there might be some
in the office.
In the office, there's, I'm sure there's sticky wash away, or there's one or the other, and it won't really matter for what we're doing. But well, that was fun. We talked a lot this morning.
We did.
Neither one. Yep, that must be where I put it. So I'm gonna hold this print up a little bit so you guys can see. Look at how vibrant those colors are. This just really, you know, when you're doing something, you're like, I really hope this works. It worked really, really well. So these trees were a completely separate image. This was an image I thought looked like ice, so I thought it was perfect for the back of a snow globe. I put a little snow cover at the base, and then I just planted a couple gnomes in there. And they were all images that I found in some subscriptions and things that I had. These were from Canva, and then these were, like I said, some random places. But that is printed, and it's a specific size. So then when I created the, hi Kelly, hi Judy, thank you. When I created the size there, that is the size that I created for the snow globe. So I made sure that everything matched, and so everything would fit. So once we have our print, we will then move forward, and that is what's going to be centered in that snow globe. So we're going to do the base there. If you have not worked with glitter HTV before, we're going to peel off our plastic. How you doing over there?
Okay.
Did you find some?
I did.
Awesome. And I really can do this. All right, there we go. We're going to take that, but you don't want to get rid of that. You want to hang on to it just to set that part aside. And we're going to place that. This big piece here with the white, this is the clear vinyl. So you're going to peel off. You don't need that white piece there. But this is your clear vinyl that's going to be holding in the glitter. And then I have my plastic silverware here. I need a spoon for when I get to the actual glitter itself. So we're going to use a spoon to place it inside the opening. So we want to prep our vinyl by wiping it down front and back with the static cling sheet. So your dryer sheet, that's all this is. All right, so I'm going to do that. I will probably do it again in a little bit, but hey, too much is better than not enough. And I also wipe down my spoon because static cling is your enemy when you're working with glitter. It tends to go everywhere, and we don't like that. So I've got everything ready to go. I've got my glitter spoon ready. I've got my bag of glitter here. I think that's enough in there left over from my one the other day. I've got my glitter HTV prepped, and I have my snow globe piece here. So I've got all of the parts and pieces that we need. And the next thing that we're going to do is put a sticky stabilizer in a minimum of a 6x10 hoop. So you do have to have a 6-inch wide hoop. Did we? We're batting a million.
We are on a roll.
It's going to be a day, right? I pulled them out to go do the cooks yesterday, and then I never brought the USB back. Silly us. All right. So you should have a crosshair. Yeah. Did you put that in there?
Oh, I did not because I didn't have it.
There was one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you're going to need a crosshair. So the we'll fix that. That's easy enough. Nope, this one and that one. All right. So we're going to start with a crosshair in the center of your hoop and the snow globe in the center of your hoop. And that's going to be the first thing that we'll stitch. So.
And we'll send everybody an updated file because the original file that I had yesterday did not have that in there, and
yeah,
I did not.
When I wrote the instructions, I was like, oh, this would be so much easier to do it this way. And
yeah.
And then.
So you'll just get another. If you've already downloaded it, you'll just get an updated.
You'll get an updated version that has the crosshair in it. So.
If you're anxious to start and you've done a Kimberbell before, you already have
1.5 million crosshairs.
You can just put one of those in.
Yep. So the first thing that we're going to do is stitch that crosshair.
And remember, when you go to line this up, you're really not going to be in the center of your project.
Right.
It is going to be, your fabric is going to be slid up, so you'll be working towards the bottom.
So
because you want to have room for those words.
I'm going to throw this down here so they can see a little bit better. So we've got the crosshair here, and we're going to fold pretty side to pretty side in half. That'll get you that first line there. And then you want to fold this up at that second line, which is again going to be 5 inches from the bottom instead of the center there. So you should have excess coming off the top. And then I'm just going to use that crosshair to place my fabric. And smooth that out. So there we go. So again, you should have this guy in the center of your hoop, not the center of your fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't want to go in there.
It did not.
It was fighting me tooth and nail. All right. Pretty straight. All right. The first thing is the placement line for our glitter. So we're going to stitch that. I have color number ES616 in. I think yesterday I used a Floriati version of the same. Because that was the one I grabbed, and that was PF561. So We're going to just completely cover that guy up and tack it down. You could, of course, tape this if you really wanted to. I'm sure it surprises no one that I'm not doing that. And then I am just going to tear that towards the stitches.
Pull up just a little so they can see what, there you go. You can just pull that right in towards the stitches and that will release
the excess.
Yeah, so you don't have to trim, so you get a nice clean cut.
You can trim,
Yes.
but you'll have a lip around the outside edge if you do versus
no lip.
no lip. It's like right at the stitch line
Right.
this way. All right, so don't need the excess of that, but what I do want to do is fuse that just to make sure it's not going to move. So I am going to come over here.
And you saved your plastic, right?
I saved my plastic, which is why I told you guys not to pitch it, and I'm just going to completely cover that up because I don't want my iron to hit right on the glitter. I'm going to just fuse. And that's about 10-15 seconds to get that. All right, and then just peel that off. And that is then ready to be stitched over top of. So our next section is going to be placing our print moda print. Oh, for crying out loud. That screw is just, I did not have that yesterday.
Like, what did I do?
No, you didn't do anything. It just is what it is. All right, so we are going to get the circle for the placement of our print.
And it doesn't really matter what color you use at this point?
It doesn't, because we're going to cover this up, but then I'm going to switch to that one for the tack down.
Okay.
I think that's better than this for a construction.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so this will be a little bit easier for you to see than the other one that I was going to use. So,
definitely.
So we're going to get rid of our gold now because we don't need that. And we're going to place that piece. Now, I did include an SVG file if you wanted to place it, your print on your scan and cut mat and then just line that circle up with the edge there. You can have this pre-cut if you would like. But for anybody who's not going to do that, all I'm going to do is fold this again in half, and I can see through there enough to see when my blues are aligned. And that is basically in half. All right, so that is, except I picked it up really poorly.
It's hard to get good.
I so hard. I missed the bottom layer from the angle that I was at. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to line that up, and I can still see again my circle, so I know where that is. And I want to put that fold on my center line with my circle edge up at the top matching that stitched line. And then I'm just going to open it up, and that will be centered. Now, if you are, you know, not trusting, you can look and say, okay, where's my stitch edge, just to make sure. You've got a little wiggle room, but you're going to have vinyl and everything on top of that as well. So you've got some wiggle for if it's not perfect, don't stress over it.
Right.
Okay. And then we're going to tack that down. Now we've switched to
a light silver.
a lighter silver.
This is ES 101.
So it's going to not pop through the color of the.
Right. You could use a white, or you could use whatever color you're going to do your satin stitch, if you choose to do the satin stitch around the outside edge.
But there is vinyl going to go on top of this. So it wasn't perfect that time, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, good enough.
Good enough for who it's for, because like I said, there's going to be that satin stitch option there that's going to cover up any of your little bit of, that's not quite where I meant to put that.
Right.
And then we're going to trim. Do you want me to come over here?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's important to trim now because it would be easier than trimming once you have the vinyl over top of it.
Absolutely. You want to get that nice clean edge. Otherwise, if
You'll
you
have
put
that,
vinyl on top of it, it'll
peek out underneath it and kind of get a raspy look.
Yep.
So.
And because there's no stitches, you won't have any pull that you'll have to worry about. So we have, look at how fast I embroider. No.
Yeah.
Magic. So we now have our piece stitched in place. All right. And again, you could cut that on your scan and cut and then place it in that line if you wanted to go that route. There we go. All right. Now, before we stitch, the next thing, which is going to just be kind of like a C that's in a cup format, we're going to place the vinyl over top. So I already wiped this down once. I'm just going to wipe it one more time because, again, static cling is
not your friend.
It's the enemy here.
Yes.
So we're going to completely cover up our project.
And that was a dryer sheet in case anybody missed that the first time around.
It's literally just a static cling dryer sheet. That's all that is. So I've rubbed both the top and the bottom of the vinyls. And now I'm going to tack that. And it's, again, it's going to leave the top portion open.
So we can put some glitz in there.
We can put some glitz in there.
Blitzen? It's our reindeer name?
It's our reindeer name, Blitzen. That's right. And again, you could leave this a raw edge if you didn't want to put the satin stitch on there. Make sure that this is a color that you want, because if that is the case, it's going to show.
Right. So
make sure that that's where you want. So we now have an opening at the top here, and I am going to put some glitter in there.
Okay.
You could skip this if you just wanted, you know, if you don't want anything inside there, you could skip this step. Not a big deal.
Right, you can put, I wouldn't put a ton more, but you could also put a little bit less. Like if you just want a little in there, you don't have to go crazy.
You definitely don't want a ton, because then it's just going to cover up your image.
Yeah. So kind of
I can
less
show,
is more.
less is definitely more here. I can show that pillow that I did the first time. I didn't have this glitter here. So I'm just going to do a little bit today. I think that's good.
That's perfect.
All right. And so that's actually the second half of the bag that I did from yesterday.
So yeah, you got plenty.
Amounts, you can do a couple with that glitter.
Yeah, hold that. Yeah, there we go. We got a little glitter. That's better.
The glitter that's in there. All right. And now we're going to tack the top and the rest of, it's going to go back all the way around, as well as tack in that top.
We want to make sure it's in the middle and not pushed out to the sides or falling out the top.
Correct. So you want to just leave enough room for your foot to go around as well. But with that static cling wiped, I don't have to do anything else. You could tape here. I'm sure you guys are shocked I didn't do that. But if you don't want to have to worry about, you could just tape that top in. So we've closed that ring. And so now I'm going to trim the vinyl.
Yes.
If you wanted to, you could leave it just like this after you're trimmed and not do that final satin stitch. What color do you want to do the satin stitch in today?
Do we want to do something different than our metallic?
I don't care. That's why I was asking. What do you want to do?
I liked the metallic. So we're going to put, this is MA1. It's King Star Metallic. And we're going to stitch that satin stitch with this. It gives it just a little bit of glitz. You could do, this is silver. You could do gold as well if you wanted it to match like the ring or the base part. So any one that you like, you could do. You could also choose not to do metallic if you didn't want it to be metallic-y.
And your amount of vinyl that you're leaving, if you're doing the satin stitch, try to get super close. If you're not, you could leave a little bit of a lip if you wanted to have, you know, an even edge all the way around. Totally your choice.
We might run out of bobbin thread. So I'm going to just...
Top drawer.
Yep, I'm just going to change that. I just played 52 pickup with bobbin.
Well, that sounds fun. I hope you enjoy playing that by yourself.
Yeah, there's only one on the floor, though.
That's not
I
too
got
bad.
the rest of them back in. It was upside down in the drawer. I didn't realize that.
All right, so in there we've got movable glitter. If you decided to not do the glitter, just do those stitches one right after the other.
Yeah.
Yep, you wouldn't have to do anything else. So now it's just going to do a satin stitch all the way around the outside. So a couple running lines, a zigzag, and then doing some understitching in there too. So it will cover up that edge of your vinyl and give you that finished look. So.
And we're not
And the
doing
glitter
anything
bounces
special.
around.
Yeah, but we aren't doing anything special with our metallic. So
Nope.
just our regular embroidery needle in there. I didn't slow it down. We didn't do anything fancy.
Though in fairness, that needle's probably maybe a little rough.
Could be.
Just bouncing away in there. Yep. That needle's probably needing some love, but let's just, can you back up a few?
I can.
So this is the last thing, so I'm not going to change the needle at the moment, but hopefully we'll make it through the rest. But so while it's doing that, because it's going to take just a second, let's, if you don't mind, pop over here. So I used some white glitter pieces in here, and I definitely put too many in there because it's hiding my gnome. So I can move it around, you know, and whatnot, but it's hiding my gnomes. So don't do too much. Let's see if we can, is that better?
Yeah.
Glare a little bit better. You can see that.
Yeah, it kind of
It's
looks
in
like
there.
his beard.
It does. It does. But
He's got a really wild beard.
He's got a lot going on in there. But anyway, that is just a little tip. It's easy to dump too much in there.
Yeah.
So start with little bits. It will, I think you'll be happier in the big picture. And this is an OESD pillow blank.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same, you know, I found where I needed to go here and then tacked that in and then ironed everything on. So if you don't want to do the whole
Make a pillow yourself.
make the pillow form and whatnot, you
Mm-hmm.
can certainly
Yeah.
just use a blank and
And
go from that route.
In the email, I did link the pillow blanks, the OESD pillow blanks, and one of the Kimberbell ones.
Yep.
We don't have them all in the same
No.
category like we do the OESD ones.
So that is definitely an option if you would prefer, rather than making your own, you can just put it right on that too. So, so many options.
yes.
And, you know, the more I'm thinking about this, this would be really cute. If you wanted to put penguins or something like that in there,
Totally.
you could, before everything, again, center your penguin or whatever, but on your screen, you would see where it's going to sit. So you could
Exactly.
lower it until it's sitting
Exactly where you want
right
it
where
to
you
be.
wanted it in the snow globe. So you could make your own little scene in there of embroidery things
Yeah.
if you wanted to, and stitch that first and then do the rest of the snow globe stitch.
Exactly.
So many things that you can do in here. I'm super excited about all of the things I could just hit print and do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that's you know, if you're not quite there yet, or
Exactly.
you know, maybe you want to do that with your tax money next year or something like
Right,
that.
right.
It's a fun tool, and you can use it as a regular printer,
Mm-hmm.
which works fantastic. It prints out nice stuff for your regular printer, or you can of course do all of these fun things too.
Yeah, ink is not terrible as
No,
ink goes.
it's standard.
Right. It is part of their ink investment program, but we're not sure if it's working yet.
Yeah, I think it was too new.
Yeah.
When it first came out, it says right on there that it's part of it, but it wasn't connected to that
Right.
ink color, but I'm sure it will be.
Hi, Candy.
So,
Hi. Hi, Connie. It hit that little thing.
yep, it did.
It did, it did, it did.
You do that side, I'll do this side.
Okay.
So where you don't have to change your needle for this thread, I do recommend that you have a decent needle for this thread.
But if it's breaking, it isn't shredding,
It isn't
which is
shredding.
a completely different scenario.
Yes, it's not causing any issues or anything. It's just we got to rethread. That's not a big deal either. But we didn't slow it down. We didn't do anything to change this situation. So.
And we used this yesterday too. So
I did. So the vinyl is gonna give a little bit of dull on that. Yep. And so this is the second time it's having to make its way around some.
Yep.
Actually,
third.
The third.
So why don't you show them some of the weeding stuff,
Okay.
and I'll finish
and
up
you'll
the
finish this?
embroidery part.
That sounds like an excellent
It's
plan.
not super exciting to watch this, and we already have those pieces there, and then.
So these are the two pieces of vinyl that we'll need for the decorative outside edges. These are the words, and then these are the snowflakes. There is a huge empty space in here. The snowflakes are just around the outside edge, but there's no way for me to do that and have you, I mean, I suppose you could just iron them individually, but this way they're laid out for you and whatnot. But you'll have a huge amount that you can use, like for a snow globe base or something like that, if you wanted to. There's a ton of leftover stuff in there. So if you don't have a picking tool, because you're not a scan and cut person, you can do a couple different things to get this started. What we really want is to stab into the color and peel that back so that we get two sections there. So it doesn't matter what you use to get that started. Just stab something in there. I give it a little twist and then roll it backwards, and it works very well. And then we're going to peel. Notice I'm peeling at an angle, not straight. It generally works a little bit better if you do that. And we're going to just pop all of those letters free. Is there a new question?
I noticed you use the needle threader to thread the needle also. Yes. This metallic thread is perfectly round, so it does not create any issues whatsoever. So we use our needle threader, all of that stuff. We don't do anything special with it.
Yep. So I do recommend being careful, but at the same time, it should be a pretty good and quick weed. And you can come in from the other side if you would like. You know, once you get partway around, you can work your way back around so that you're pulling towards the W instead of going the other way. Sticky stuff. All right, so there's the bulk. And now I just have a couple little spots inside of some letters here that I need to pull out. A couple in the O. here. And 2 more. Do. All right, so there is everything for the words. So we'll just iron that down when we get there. And then we have our glitter. This is a little bit easier to get started in general because it's heavier. This is going to be, I would say, take your time a little bit more because of all of the little pieces of snowflake to make sure that you don't rip into. So maybe use a tweezer or your picking tool if you have one to get into those centers there, just to make sure that it doesn't rip any of the legs of the snowflakes themselves. There. My blue stuck over there. Static cling, told you, it's not your friend. So as I said, there's a very large amount of excess. I would save that personally and use it as a applique somewhere down the line because that's a lot and it's so fun to use.
Yes. Here's your.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So the design is for free. You can get to it from the description in this video. You can get to it right on our website. It's in our Lebu Originals. If you're looking for it, it should be right on the What's New page. You can purchase a kit. The kit is $20. The kit includes the pre-cut snowflakes and words, as well as all of the rest of the fabric and the glitter and everything to make your adorable snow globe.
Sticky little sucker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got a couple little inside pieces to pop out. Right there. And that is it. So, like I said, whole lot of left over. But that was the easiest way for you guys so that you wouldn't have to. You could still cut them apart and put them wherever you would like if you want to. You don't have to do them the way that we laid it out for you. All right, so now I have my words and snowflakes ready to go. I need to know where to put them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are doing a square pillow, just stick them wherever you want.
Yep.
You can, fill in the space accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
If you are doing the circle, you'll want to take, there's a printout in your kit with the instructions. Print that out and cut this piece. And normally we would tell you to fold it in quarters and then just cut around the outside edge. But because of the embroidery,
it's not going to fold very well.
It doesn't fold. So, which is why I made the actual center marks. So these here are 7-inch in, and this one is 7 inches in. So all I have to do is line that up with each of those and draw around the outside edge. And that will then be my cut line for I can draw super well this morning, it looks like. Not inside the lines at all.
If you're gonna make a bunch of these, they make template plastic, and you can cut it out of that, and it's a lot easier to trace around.
Yeah, plastic is better for an edge. This paper is not really much of an edge. And it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, you're just looking for where to cut. That's going to be your, I mean, you want it the right size, but if you miss a couple spots, it's not the end of the world. That's just your cut line. So, I got there. There we go. One more. Almost did the wrong line. I was like, that doesn't look right.
It'd be like a modern circle.
It would be a very modern circle. All right. Oops, that sucked. Sorry. Trying to hurry. The hurrier you go. Okay, so now I have a visual. I can cut this and then iron on. I can iron on and then cut. What you do not want to do is iron off your cut line.
True.
Because I used a friction pen. So for today's purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and cut right on that line. Again, if you technically could do this before you stitch, but it's a lot easier to align a square piece than it is a circle.
Yeah.
Which is why I did it this way. But if you're thinking to yourself, well, that was backwards, then you can do it however you want. But yes, it would definitely be easier to cut this only 1/4, you know, folded everything and then cutting for sure. I just felt that having the excess fabric, excuse me, for
fabric.
I'm sorry.
You said fabric.
Fabric.
Going French.
Yeah, I'm going to France here for Christmas. I just thought, you know, with stitching, I always like to have excess so that if it does pull at all, I'm not short somewhere. And there's only a little glitter on the floor. All right, so there I have that. So the next thing that I can do is place in my words. And again, if you're super anal about all of those things, you can fold that so that the edges line up here and then pinch the fold so that you know where center is. And then you can line that pinch up with the center line there so that you are balanced right and left. All right, so that's where I'm going to stick that. And if before I do that, I just want to eyeball, your excess snowflake is up at the top for placement. And you can just make sure, yep, you know, I'm still good. I've got plenty of room around there to bring those in. So you can place those, make sure that you're good. And then we're going to iron this. Now, this would be easier with a larger piece. You do not want to hit your clear vinyl with your iron. So I'm going to just work my way around. I don't have to worry about any of my markings at this point. So it doesn't matter if I iron them away. What I don't want to do is iron this directly there.
Yeah, you could put a little piece of fabric over top of that.
That's exactly what I would do.
To just help prevent that from happening. But you wouldn't want to put this like in your heat press.
So this is a hot peel and you can see it's coming right off there. So I'm good with that. Hot peel means you don't want to cool down before you peel the plastic off. didn't think I got that L. Missed that. I was like, nope, it's stuck. All right. There we go. It's actually sticking to my vinyl more than anything else. So there are the words. They are attached. And again, if you are just tuning in, those are pre-cut for you. So you don't have to have a scan and cut to do this.
But if you do, you have the files and you can make as
many as you would like. So I am just going to put these kind of where I want them. Make sure that you are leaving room around the outside edge. There's nothing wrong with it going right to the edge of your pillow, so that's fine. But we did leave you enough room for your seam allowance in there. But they will go out towards those edges. And again, you don't want to iron on the vinyl if you can help that. So
or get your iron on your glitter.
Or the glitter, exactly. This is extremely riveting, I know. Just getting rid of the rest of my colors. Gonna make sure that that peels fine. Everything's going good there. Yippers. All right, I just have these little guys over here and we are all done with the creating of the front of our pillow. Pressure definitely helps with this, not just heat. So do push down a little bit with your iron.
Yep.
But as you can see, I don't need a heat press to use this iron on. Super simple and straightforward to do that. So get rid of my few extra little markings. And oops, there's one right there too. All right, there is my pillow front.
It's so cute.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice glare right in the middle.
Right there. Yeah.
There we go. Gotta love those lights. Super cute.
So cute. And that is literally all there is to this.
Yes.
So there's my front. I'm going to do an envelope fold with my backing fabrics and create the ruffle if you would like to. And that will finish off your pillow.
Yes. So, and it fits inside the Kimberbell round
12 by 12 blank. So that is the stitch out. Yes. So very quick. And in all reality, that's a pretty quick stitch out.
It is very quick.
It's only 7 minutes on the machine itself. So, but as far as the print moda and different things, we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that so that you would know some things that kind of get your brain going in the same direction mine's been going.
Yes.
So some of these things I did at convention you might have seen before, but other things I did just start. So I did a second puppy pillow, but I forgot it at home. I took it home to stuff it and then I forgot it. So my bad on that. So this is a picture of my little doggy Frid, and I used the Apple feature of removing the background so that there wasn't other things there. But in all reality, you know, you're going to trim around whatever, so you're going to get rid of most of that. So it's not a big deal if you don't have that feature. You could still do this. It would just be a little bit more ink being used.
Yeah.
But you could still do that very, very easily. So I just chose a contrast fabric more for visual so you guys could see. I just trimmed around them, sewed around, and then the bottom is left open, and I stuffed that. I'd never stitched it closed because you guys know how much I love hand sewing. But you could do this with people, pets, all kinds of different things, or even a gnome or something. If you really, you know, you could make a huge gnome or snowman or something like that and print it and then just stuff it, and then you'd have a cute little stuffy.
Absolutely.
So that is very, very easy to do. This is a printout that was made from an image.
Yes. That's my
This
cat.
is actually your cat. That if I hold that up, you can see the cat's face here and then his body. And it took that picture and geometricized it.
Yeah, and turned it into like a little flower.
Turned it into a flower. And you can then change the size in the Artspira app to make that look like you want. You can also change the viewing, like the sepia bright color, you know, how bright and whatnot, that everything is in there. So you have a lot of power. This is the same type of thing, but not with a cat. It was just, it might've been a bird. I really don't remember at this point. This was one of the things that I did at convention. But this, the color scheme was done to match my embroidery and what I was attaching it to. So you can perfectly color coordinate your fabrics to match your embroideries. And then this was something that they sent. There is the ability to basically laminate or put, it's an iron-on vinyl is really all that means, and put that on there to create. So if you're going to make a bag or something that's going to be rubbed on a lot, you have the ability to protect that and make it last a lot longer. This is,
she just put some,
oh, look at that.
It's like magic.
It is like magic. This is that iron-on. Thank you so much, Miss Tucker. And it just irons on. You would cut it to the size that you need for your fabric piece and then iron that on, and there you go. So they originally came out with a Brother branded one, and it was like 45, 49. It was expensive, stupid expensive for just like this 2-yard piece of iron-on. But they actually, I'm guessing they decided it wasn't worth them creating it when other people had the same product. So if you order the Brother, this is actually what it comes now. So this is the vinyl that they are recommending that you use for that.
Yeah,
so
it's good product. I've been using, and it's been around for years.
It's been around.
I've used it for a long time.
It's been around, and it's way better price.
Yeah.
That is $13. 2 yards by a wider piece, and it's only $13.
Yeah.
So huge
Way
better.
more.
Okay, so I love this idea. I came up with it with a customer, and she was asking she was trying to digitize something, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be super, super hard. I'm not sure you're going to be able to do that. So I came up with this idea, talking with the customer, and I was like, I really want to do that. It was smaller than I thought it was in my head. So if I do this again, which I think I will probably make it a little bigger. And what I did was I actually created an applique of the size that I made it. So I knew what size my picture was. And then I created an applique to tack it down based on that size. So super simple. You can actually do that in your machine because there's, you have shapes and whatnot built into the machine. So you have the ability. And then I did use a decorative stitch from the Design Center or the IQ just to give it a little frame. So what am I talking about, right? what you doing? This is a recipe that I got from my grandma when I actually got married. Everybody gave me recipes. So I have a lot of things that, cards that she signed and different things. This was actually before they started to get shaky and whatnot. She was very self-conscious about that. So she didn't like to sign things once her hand started to shake because she didn't like how it looked. And so I knew when she signed my cards, rather than just typed whatever, because that's what she would do, is put stuff in her typewriter. You know, it meant a lot. It meant a lot because she knew that I appreciated that and whatnot. So her handwriting is very special to me. And so to have something preserved in her handwriting, I think is a really, really neat thing. So again, this thought came from a customer who had mom's recipe cards and wanted to do something for her sisters with them. And she was like, how can I do this? And I was like, we have a new thing. So this, I did edit the photo a little bit. I copied the little flower piece because there was a back to the card. I copied it and then I covered up the seam, if you will, with the same flower print from down there. I created it and added it in the middle. And I'm tickled pink with how it came out.
It's
I
adorable.
think it's, you know, I showed my dad and he was like, could you do that with the sugar cookie recipe? I'm like, give me the picture, and I sure can. So this is something, again, that you can pick and choose what it is that you want printed,
Right.
and all you need is a picture of it. So my daughter actually took those pictures and emailed them to me, or texted them to me, actually, I think, and then I printed them here at the shop. So
Yeah.
very, very easy to do. Like I said, I did manipulate the photo a little bit, just so that it looked a little less seamless,
More seamless.
less yucky on the edges.
Yeah.
And made it a little prettier. But that was super easy in any photo product that you have. Very, very simple. Or you could add something if you didn't have the ability to do that. You could just add a border on top of it too. But very, very fun, and close to my heart, and how you can preserve some things. I mean, I could put that on anything.
Yep.
You know, I have all kinds of things. So
You
now
can frame it.
you could frame it as well. So, you know, the thought that she was trying to do was, you know, I was thinking I could digitize my mom's handwriting of these and then put them on towels for my sisters. And I was like, that's not going to digitize. I mean, you know, it was an old, and hers was an older,
Right, not as well
washed
preserved.
out, and you know, it was a lot faded comparative to what I had there. And so I'm like, you're not going to be able to digitize that. So I literally took a picture of hers and I printed it, and she was like, and very, very easy. And then again, I just created an applique that was the size that I cut it to.
Yep.
To tack it down. But I did put fusible applique on the back so that it stayed in place as it was being stitched. So fun.
Yes.
Super excited.
You do so much with it.
So, you know, preserving memories is some, you know, I've scrapbooked for a long time. I haven't scrapbooked recently.
Right.
But it was something that got ingrained in, when, you know, your handwriting is a part of you, and anytime that you sign something, you're leaving yourself in whatever it is that you've signed, and somebody's going to really enjoy that years down the line,
right,
versus typing everything or whatnot. So I think that this was a really neat way to be able to do that. So anyway, those are my ideas. Do you have anything you want to add? I know you haven't gotten to play like I have.
Haven't, no, but I really think that you can preserve, and I really think that printing something like that, if you don't want to put it on towels because maybe people aren't like that, I really think that you could put it in a photo album, or you could put it in like a collage picture frame. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff. You could make a pillow. Yeah, you could.
Grandma signed the pillow, or you know, whatever, those kinds of things. Pieces, quilt squares.
Yep, quilt squares.
Absolutely, those kinds of things, and completely not being original at all. If you are just missing a little bit of some fabric,
yeah, you can
take a picture of it and print some more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that for yardage
or quilt, right?
You know, but if you just needed a little more of something and it was a discontinued pattern, and you were trying to finish a project, you could actually take a picture of the fabric and print it and add it to whatever it was that you needed.
You know, nothing worse than being like 2 inches short of a border piece. Didn't measure right.
Didn't quite.
I really want that specific something in my applique piece, or, you know, sometimes if you're, you know, like I made this jar quilt, and I think the amount of time that I spent looking for fruits and vegetables to put in the jars, if this had been around, wow, I could have done it in like a day.
It would have been done.
Fruits and vegetables.
Cut them around and applique them down, and
it would have been so much easier. So you could do like, you know, people do I Spy quilts and things like that. You know, if you want something really specific to like the child or the family, something like that would be really unique with something like this, because it's just so much easier.
It is.
Not that you shouldn't hunt.
Once you start thinking of projects, then it's kind of like, oh, I could do. It starts to then build and snowball into some other ideas and different things that I could do this, that, or the other thing. Yeah. But you know, the creating. I looked for a finished scene, and I just didn't find anything that fit
Right.
the size and what we needed. So I was like, okay, well, what do I want?
Right.
We want gnomes, and I want trees, and I'd like a snowy background. And
Yeah.
so I, literally was able to take all of these different things, and sometimes that clashes, but I was able to find things that blended and went
Yeah.
well together, and things, and it came out, I think, pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about the possibilities of the print moda and what we can do. As far as cutting, I did use the vinyl blade. And again, I did include a cut file if you want to cut a circle to fit in there specifically. That SVG file is included in the files. So you could take, like we were saying, a print fabric that has like a Christmas house or a truck or,
Yeah.
the
Maybe
whatever.
you made a Christmas quilt for somebody and you want to make a matching pillow. You could take a piece of that fabric and put that in your little snow globe.
You sure can.
So much.
So many things. I tried to make it so that it was versatile and that you could substitute those things in. The vinyl blade worked beautifully for that. The font and the tiny dot on the eye and that kind of stuff. That vinyl blade is definitely
That's what it's designed for.
it's what it is designed for,
Yep.
to do those more intricate cuts and make everything come out nice and smooth. So I'm
yeah, look at the detail on the snowflakes.
and there's a tiny one. Where's the tiny one? There's the little guy. So you can't, the glare on it, there's tiny little, there we go. So that vinyl blade definitely is a tool if you're wanting to do things like this. If you don't already have it, that is a great thing.
Yeah.
That is available to come in 2 different ways as well. You can get that as just the vinyl blade, but that has the holder of the blade and some designs, which are really cool. Or you can get the Disney pack, which is all 3 of those previously mentioned things, plus a Disney card that has real delicate cuts for Disney designs too. So whole bunch of things out there, and that is what I used to create these things. So
all right, well, that's all we have, right?
That is what we had planned for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the stitch out of this little guy here. And again, the file is free through the end of the year. If you miss it, you can still buy it in January, but it won't be free in January, so get it now.
Yep.
And then there are kits available ready to go home. They're all already packaged and ready to go. So that's what we've got.
Yeah.
So
thanks for joining us.
We thank you for joining us. We hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, and it's been a great year, and we appreciate all of you. So that's kind of why we do this, is a little gift back to you so that you have something that you can do, and it's free for this month because that's our gift. So hope you enjoy it, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays to anyone who doesn't celebrate that.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
all of those good
all of
things.
Those things. We wish you a merry
whatever
everything.
it is that you do.
Yes.
So
we hope it's bright, and we will be here Saturday, but we will be closed Monday and Tuesday.
So we're going to take the day after each holiday for our families this year. So 25 and 26 we are closed, and then 1 and 2 we are closed. But we will be here every other day to help you guys in whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Merry Christmas. See you next year.